sounding like the old man in the club. I'm sounding like the old man in the club. I remember when rap music first jumped out, man, and I was up north, hanging out with some relatives, and I remember an aunt saying, "Turn off that talking music." That's what she called it back then, talking music. Rap was new.
Talking
music. Kind of
music.
aged myself, yeah. It's kind of aged myself right there. But we're talking to my main man, J.C. Fentz Lewis. He is the CEO of Midtown Studios. Did I get that right, Fentz? Did I get that right?
Yes, Midtown Studios and Films. You got it right, buddy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Midtown Studios and Films. And you can also follow them on Twitter at Midtown_Studios.
Midtown Studios Miami. Midtown Studios Miami. Everything Twitter, Instagram, Facebook is Midtown Studios Miami.
All right. So you guys put out some of the hottest music in Miami. I helped you launch one of your songs, which I'm very proud of because my name was mentioned on the record. The original Icons Committee album, the one with Get Crunked Up. And you guys are known to put out a lot of the edgy street music here in Miami. And done motion pictures as well.
We did Bloodline, and we also did the next hit with TD Entertainment. It's been shown. The next hit has been shown in the past 2 months on Showtime and Stars, respectively. So I don't know if anybody here have seen it, but we try to do dabble into a little bit of everything, man. Music, film, and everything entertainment related.
Right, and one of your albums was called Street Money, and I mean, let's face it, our urban communities all over this country, not just Miami, Chicago, Baltimore stand out amongst others, Memphis. We're all having the same problems with our youth, with the violence, with the kids being shot younger and younger, and they all listen to hip-hop music. And as I talked with my previous guest, DJ Red, I see a correlation. Do you, as a recording artist, as a producer, see the same problems and the same links to some of these problems?
Yeah, I absolutely do because, hip-hop has changed a lot, hip-hop from the inception of when it first started has always been the voice of the streets. From the African Bambaataa days, you could go way back even before that, all the way throughout. If you notice, the sounds of music, of hip-hop music, have always been the sounds of the generation.
Right.
So it has changed dramatically. But the only difference is, back in the days when you could have a NWA, but you could also have a Pro Righteous Teachers, and you could also have a BDP. You could also have a Public Enemy. So right. Queen Latifah, you had a balance. Nowadays, it's just a one-way, type of theme, music, and ideas, and there's nobody that's really kind of giving the kids an alternative. And also, a lot of things that have changed with hip-hop music is where, back in the days where, it was all about being creative. It was not taken so serious.
Right.
Now you got cats saying, man, dudes ain't real. They ain't from the streets, and dudes ain't real, and they glorify that like it's the thing to do and the thing to be. Like being smart and being educated is not celebrated. You understand what I'm saying? And being hood and being trying to, represent the thug life, whatever, if you will, that's what's in. And these kids kind of take that and run with it. And I think that's where we failed them. You know what I'm saying? I think that's where we failed them because it's, nobody's coming in and saying, hey, man, you ever seen, Terminator? You see Arnold Schwarzenegger doing all the killing and da-da-da-da. It's all entertainment. It's a movie.
Right.
And when it's done, it's over. That's what it is. And they'll come and do another movie. So everything I'm talking about right now, I may be talking about things that I see in my hood, in my neck of the woods, but not to say that it's the thing to be or things to do. It's for entertainment, and we're just telling you our story. And we have to express that to the youth, man. And I think they need to get a better understanding of that. And until then, these kind of craziness is going to continue.
Yeah. We're talking with Jason.
Because at the end of the day...
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry about that. No, I was going to say, at the end of the day, we are, role model to these kids, man. I remember when I was in high school and I was listening to Big Daddy Kane, Rakim, Nas, those guys were my idols. You know what I'm saying? As far as
Yeah.
music was concerned. And then when I got here to Miami and I got a little bit of Uncle Luke, and when I went to Big Daddy's on 119th, I remember I didn't even used to like, Miami music until I seen what Uncle Luke Records did to the club. And all the girls like lost their minds and dancing and all over the world. I'm like, man, I'm in. You know what I'm saying? And I was very impressed by that. So I became a fan of Luke, of what he was doing. So at the end of the day, our impressionable minds, man, we watch what we see. We take tune to what we like, and then we think that's the thing to do. So if all we selling enough, we telling them is, the bricks and the this and the drugs and the killing and whatever, and we're not telling them, dog, it's just for entertainment purposes, and we're just telling you our story. And we once we get from that booth, we all go home. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We know everybody's not living how they are on the record. We're not living how we are on the record. Like Rick Ross is still, you know what I'm saying? He's not Rick Ross like 24/7. You know what I'm saying? When he goes home to his family and to his kids, you know what I'm saying, and he's living his regular life. You know what I'm saying? So was Jay-Z when he first started. You know the Jay-Z story. He started, you know what I'm saying, so he came out telling his story. But then I look at him now, and to me, he's the best that ever done it because he has found a way to differentiate himself from the street life, although not being ashamed of it, saying, hey, this is what I went through, and all his records, he's always talk about it to give you a sense of himself, but also now has made a complete transition and now is a family man. And we have to try to emulate that and try to give the kids a balance. And that's where I think we failed them.
How come we as urban artists, as black people, as inner city kids, and predominantly, how come we have such a tough time drawing that line between art and reality? And other people seem to be able to do that. Why is it so difficult for us as hip hop artists to not take it so seriously, to not, take a diss on a record to the point where we want to actually go out and shoot somebody?
Yeah. Listen, man, we lost Biggie and Pac to that same foolishness. Mm-hmm. All right? Our biggest artists of all time, we lost them way too young for that same foolishness. It's almost like, I don't know what it is about our people, dude. You know what I'm saying? It's just, we sell this, and I'm not exempt from it because I make this, we produce the kind of music, produce the type of artists that, speak on those. I mean, I came out with Bloodline, for God's sakes. I produced a movie called Bloodline, hood classic. Everybody loved it, but for whatever reason, maybe so because people know how movies work, so they were able to differentiate themselves from that and understand that this is just a fairy tale, it's a film, But whatever it is with the music, I don't know. It's just like nowadays nobody tend to get in, kind of the artists. I don't know. I think the artists have to do a little bit more speaking engagement. Go talk to these kids. Like every now and then I go and speak to these kids in high school, right? I speak to these at-risk youth with a nonprofit organization that I'm part of, and right. I on Thursday I come and speak to them and try to help them understand. Like, look, man, this is my life. This is what I've been through. Even me, because even at 16, 17 years old, I was kicked out of high school, by doing some foolishness, trying to be hard. You know what I'm saying? Ended up stabbing a kid in school, you know what I'm saying, and almost killed them, got arrested, spent months in jail, whatever, back in the days, trying to be hard and trying to be cool, because thinking that's what was like, it was impressionable. Like, yo, like, I'm not nothing to be messed with, and I'm going to be da-da-da. Like, so I try to tell these kids nowadays, like, my story, so to try to help them understand. And I had to, some way, somehow get out of that, by the grace of God. And it's like, sometimes all these kids need somebody, some type of mentorship to talk to them. Us who know better got to teach them and got to do better. But when you have older guys, in their late 30s, their 40s, wearing their pants down, their year too, and doing the same thing and talking the same talk as a 16, 17-year-old is talking, then who's going to teach them any better? I made this strong analogy. I was talking with these kids a couple of months ago. I was like, look, think about this. Back in the days, nowadays everybody's saying, yo, this dude right here ain't real. This dude ain't from the streets. This dude he ain't killed nobody for real. He ain't got no records. That's how these cats are talking to me. These kids are talking to me. Like certain kids this dude ain't got no record. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got meaning like arrest records, police records, no priors, right? But I'm like, okay, so if that's what it's about, back in the days, you had Nas, right, with his whole crew. If you remember, had the album The Firm. Everybody was Italians. You know what I'm saying? And was Nas and Foxy and all these Donori, were they all Italians?
AZ.
You know what I'm saying? It was just a character that we took and they took and portrayed, and they did that well. You know what I'm saying? I remember one verse that Nas said. One verse that Nas said, man, he was like, when I was young, I went to hell for snuffing Jesus. And I was like, oh, that is such a hard-ass line, man. You know what I'm saying? Look, dude was like, his metaphor is so ill. Did Nas ever see Jesus? Did he ever slap Jesus? You know what I'm saying? So why is it nowadays rap and just artistic expression, and that's all it is? Where it's not, it doesn't have to be about, you know what I'm saying, when dude's talking about what he saw and portray that, you know, because shooting is happening in the Beans all the time. Shooting is happening especially in Miami Gardens all the time. So a cat who's raised around that, he could speak on it and say, look, and just portray that in his music. But doesn't mean that he went and killed 3-5 guys on a drive-by. He just basically expressing what he just witnessed probably last week because we're killing each other too much.
Yeah.
But we don't have to take that literally, like as if that, okay, yeah, that's what it is, and to glorify that. And I think that's where we have to make that somewhat of a you know, small distinction. And so what we could express to the youth, man, like, yo, man, that's not what it is. Because, like I said, Nas was not an Italian. The Firm, when they came out with that album back in the days, it was dope. Like, everybody was like, yo, this is so hot. You know what I'm saying? But everybody had the Italian Gambino family, whatever, da-da-da. But Nas an Italian? So if it's got to be taken so real, then we should have bashed them. Like, yo, dude ain't no Italian, but we never bashed them. We looked at it for the way they expressed themselves, the way they put the album together, the whole clique and all that. AZ, Nas, all that, Foxy, man, album was dope. And that's how we have to look at this thing. It's all an art form. And whoever could express themselves and illustrate it the best. That's it.
Yeah.
And go home and take care of your family. That's it.
Take care of your family, man, for real, because you got actors, they do it all the time. From Clint Eastwood to Denzel to Samuel L. Jackson, in Pulp Fiction. I mean, as violent as they come, but art form. And we need these kids to learn how to separate it. You mentioned the top rappers being murdered, Biggie and Pac, and one of the artists with one of the hottest songs in hip-hop in a long time, Bobby Shmurda, is in jail right now.
Is in jail.
Yeah, facing murder charges.
Like, I mean, even Kodak Black just came out. You know, thank God for him. You know what I'm saying? I hope everything works out for the kid because he's a talented dude, you know what I'm saying? And you and I hate to see this when you know, you've been waiting for your chance your whole life. You know what I'm saying? God finally blessed you, you know what I'm saying, with an opportunity to really earn a living for your family, and then all kind of foolishness come. But again, you know, we live in a, you know, devilish world, you know what I'm saying? You know, and so anytime success comes, you're going to have a lot of different negativity and different things that come at you, and that's when guys got to stay a little strong and stay focused, you know, because something always come in the way and try to whatever. I see, you know, Kodak Black came from nowhere, and now he's, you know, by the grace of God and his grind, you know what I'm saying, his work ethic, now he's everywhere, and he's got the, you know, he got the voice, he got the ears of the youth right now. You know what I'm saying? So
you guys, Fentz, have been personally affected losing one of your colleagues in Toro, somebody I knew personally. You know.
Yeah, man, and you know, let me tell you how crazy it is, man. Toro, I will forever miss this kid, man. You know, he was, you know, very loyal to me. You know, always grinding on the street. He didn't care about nothing else but his music. And it's crazy when he finally can gave. We always been looking for that record for him, that single to work, but we could never find one. He finally came up with a record that we felt like, yo, this has some great potential to take you to that next level. What I'm telling you, he was at the studio. We pressed 1,000 CDs, and he says, man, Fentz, I'm about to hit the streets. You about to see me, bro. You're gonna see me. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was so happy and excited that we finally came up with a record that we about to hit the marketplace with. So he came, pressed 1,000 CDs, left my studio at 8:00 p.m., dude. Took the 1,000 CDs with him. He's like, man, I'm on the streets. I'm going to be on the ground, baby. You're going to hear about this record. I'm like, yeah, man, looking forward to it. Do your thing. At 5 a.m. in the morning, 5:30, I'm getting a call saying dude was found slumped over in his car. And it was like one of the hardest things. I had to go to his house, you know, to talk to his grandma. You know what I'm saying? And it was just kind of like, it's just kind of crazy, bro. You know what I'm saying? It hit home really, really hard. So I've been, again, I've been, definitely, and I mean, I can't tell you how many different people that, we've had to bury, and truthfully, man, it's like enough is enough, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how or what we can do to stop it, but it's just as you just look at generations today, man, it's just getting worse and worse. Cats got no respect for life. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it's the back in the days we used to get mad with each other, and
knuckle up.
And it was about even if you got jumped, that was the worst thing that could happen to us back in the days. All right, you get jumped, by a couple of dudes, but you get to live another day and come and then fight another day. If you're down to do it again. But nowadays, man, you can't step on somebody's shoes or look at somebody wrong. It's like we are truthfully our worst enemy, man. You know what I'm saying? But right I think also, but most importantly, I think it's knowledge of self. I think we really need to kind of know who we are as Black people and what we have done in this, in our history, so we could be proud of what we, who we are. I mean, truthfully, when people say that we're kings and queens, I mean, if you go do our research, man, and see who we have been, man. Listen, I went to Africa 2 years ago, and it was like a awakening, experience for me. And I would advise every person, even if you're white, every person living in America to make that trip. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like a surreal moment when I got there. I felt like I was home.
Wow.
And what I learned from over there, talking to the natives, and my ignorance, man. I thought when I got to Africa, I was going to see guys and what you see on TV, spears and all types of stuff like that. You know what I mean? But they're just as modernized as us. I mean, I've seen bigger cribs and mansions that I've never seen even in the States. In Africa, and I'm like, I can't believe this. Right. So it's almost like we've been fed wrong all our lives. Even the lies is being told, and who we are is not what it is. So, and all those things make me feel so proud to be Black. You know what I'm saying? So proud of us. But I feel like, we just need to do better. And those of us who know better, do better and teach better. And that's why I go and speak to these kids at the schools, man, to try to at least instill a little bit of my knowledge and what I've learned into them.
My man, J.C. Fentz Lewis. And you know what, Fentz? I'm glad we had this discussion because it's a step in the right direction. And you guys doing the music on the streets, doing the movies, the true stories of the streets. It starts with us. And then we need to take it to the program directors, the community activists, because we can make a difference in our own communities. And that's why I wanted to have this discussion, and I'm honored to have you come on the show to talk about this.
Wow, Jeff, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you giving me a moment to at least seek my truth and my thoughts and understanding. Like, everything's not facts, but at least that's how I see it through my prism. And I want to do whatever it takes because, right now, I just got a newborn son. I've been waiting for him for the longest. He's 3 weeks. He's a month old today. And things that have happened in our community, things that you're seeing now I'm thinking, I've never had a son before, so I never really thought about it in that idea when you've seen all these young Black men getting murdered on the streets and stuff like that. Now it's like I'm already thinking 15, 16 years from now. You know what I'm saying? So I want to do my best to raise him right, and I want to do my best to, I started this program called Beyond the Spotlight, where I try to teach these kids, even at my studio, the at-risk youth in the community. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, this, you could do more than just, holding a basketball or get on the microphone. There's so much things behind, even in the music, as you could do as far as a producer, as far as a writer, as far as engineering, as far as mixing. There's still a way to make a living doing what we do where you don't have to be in the front, in the spotlight. So I try to talk to these kids, man. I try to help them understand, saying there's another life out in entertainment behind the scenes. And I talk to them all the time. And all I want to do is also the one thing I want to add is to get some of the artists here, the popular ones like Ross, Pitt, Flo, and all these guys to at least every now and then come and be a part, talk to my kids, and then be involved. And even if it's not with my kids, be involved with the community. Period. Because we now have to make a difference, man. And it starts with us. Real talk.
You can follow him on Twitter at Midtown_Studios, JC Fentz Lewis. We appreciate you, man, and keep up that great work with that foundation. We're going to do our best here on the Jeff Fox Show to help with that.
Thanks a lot, my brother.
As well, because I think we can make a difference, and we will make that difference.
It starts with us, Jeff. Each one.